In this lecture, I'm going to talk about overview of graphics, JPanel plus graphics. Graphical representation. If you want to draw shapes such as a bar chart, a clock, or a stop sign, how do you do it in Java Swing environment? Java coordination system. We have a JPanel that is a container. Inside there, we can draw some graphics. And the graphic has a coordinate system. The horizontal line, we have the X coordinate. And the vertical line, we have the Y coordinate. X coordinate come from left to right. Y coordinate come from top to bottom. It's different from the Cartesian coordinate system. Each GUI component has its own coordinate system. Say we have one component or one container. Inside there is a sub-container, and in the middle, we have one component inside the component 2, the container 2. And this container 2 has an address with respect to the corner of this component 3. And this component 1 has an address according to the origin of the component 2. And in component C1, it has its own coordinate system inside it. A graphic class. You can draw string, line, rectangle, oval, arc, polygon, polyline using the method in the graphic class. Graphic class is a canvas, but unlike canvas, you can do a lot of things. Set color, set form, draw string, draw line, draw rectangle, fill rectangle, draw rounded rectangle, fill rounded rectangle, draw 3D rectangle, fill 3D rectangle, draw oval, fill oval, draw arc, fill arc, draw polygon, fill polygon, draw polygon, fill polygon. These two have different parameters. And draw polylines. So graphic is like a canvas and also like a pen. You can use these different pen methods to draw on the canvas. Basic Java graphics. The simplest to draw graphic in Java is to extend JPanel. JPanel is a container, but JPanel has a method paintComponent and with a parameter of graphic type. The graphic type G is actually the canvas that's on top of this JPanel. So JPanel object or container has a canvas that you can draw something on. And that is the G canvas you can use. Whenever Java tries to render a Swing GUI component, it calls the component's paintComponent graphic G method with the current graphic context as the parameter. In the code for paintComponent graphic G, you almost always call super paintComponent G in order to get the correct internal hidden rendering sequence. So every time you need to call this, just like calling a super constructor before you do anything else, in order to get the internal hidden rendering sequence. The code for BodyPartsCanvas illustrates the process. BodyPartsCanvas, a subclass of JPanel as graphic component holder. So this is one JPanel object. And inside there you can override the JPanel's paintComponent method. But when you do that, you need to call JPanel's paintComponent method once. You need to get the whole hidden internal mechanism working first for JPanel. You never call the paintComponent directly. When the BodyPartsCanvas got called, the paintComponent will be called directly. And when that is done, the JPanel's paintComponent will also be called because it is in the first statement for paintComponent. And when you need to draw it again, instead you should call repaint to let Java schedule the repaint process and properly call paintComponent. So paintComponent method was called when the JPanel object is constructed for the first time. And then, after that, you can draw again using the repaint. And repaint is the method that you should use to paint something after the object being created. paintComponent example. We have a demo program, test paintComponent.java. In order to draw things on a component, you need to define a class that extends JPanel And the override is paintComponent method because JPanel doesn't paint anything other than the panel. So you need to override it and you need to extend JPanel to specify what to draw. The first program in this chapter can be rewritten using paintComponent. Draw graphics on panels. JPanel can be used for both containing component and for direct drawing. To draw in a JPanel, you create a new class that extends JPanel and override the paintComponent method. Doing this prevents you from interfering with other components. Override the method, and then G is provided automatically by JVM, so you don't need to create it by yourself. Let's look at the program. This test paintComponent is right here. Basically, it's a class that extends JFrame. So it's a frame. And inside the frame, we create one test paintComponent. And inside the main method, we create this frame. And then this frame in the constructor, we add one new paint one, that is the JPanel. And in this new paint one, we override the paintComponent. So we have the support.paintComponent G that call the JPanel's default paintComponent. And in this new paint, we also draw a line and one banner string. And it is shown right here, one line and one banner string. And when this program gets started, it will create a frame, and then that frame would add one panel in there. And when that panel being created, this overridden paintComponent method will be automatically called, and that will call the JPanel's constructor and also draw the two things. Let's run again. Something like that. Thank you.